Hi everybody, welcome to Friday Night Live, and this week we're going to talk about the inner critic, or our own self-judgmentalness. I don't know if you're anything like me, but when you're watching the football or the sport or the baseball or the Olympics, there's a commentator kind of commenting on whatever's happening, and you can kind of feel that you've got a commentator in your head, and he's like not just commenting but criticising everything that you're doing. Like in real life, the commentator can say, and Ryan Giggs is coming up to the goal and he's dribbling and he's just passed him and he's going to go for the goal. But our version is, oh, so you're dribbling, are you? Oh, well, you just passed him. Well, did you say hello? There's the goal. Is that the right goal? So we can kind of be like that. We're not just got commentators, we've got inner critics criticising everything we're doing. So we wanted to talk about what to do to shut it up. And so, first thing to realise, and the most important thing, and if the only thing you get from this is to realise what I'm about to say, you're good to go. Your inner critic is not telling you who you are. It's not telling you what you're capable of. It's just mind chatter. Because if you believe you are the thinking coming into your head criticising you, you can get really down and depressed. And believe me, I did that. And I'm sure many people who are watching this have also done that, because you start believing you're the thought critic, the inner commentator, when really we are consciousness with a little gerbil kind of like chattering away in the corner there. Anything to add or say, Jules?
I don't.
I'll keep talking and I'll see what happens. I'll keep chattering away then. Okay, what else can I go with this? Oh God, it's only been 2 minutes. I have to try and think of something else to say.
2 minutes.
I've got to make it to 10 minutes.
How do we do that? Like, we just talk and we can talk for 10 minutes and then sometimes we go over.
And it's just done, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, give me a minute. Bear with me. So the first thing is realising that just because thoughts popping in your head doesn't mean you are what you think.
Right. And sometimes you don't even know that the thoughts are popping in your head. Sometimes it's a feeling. It is a feeling, and a feeling of discourse, of uncomfortableness, of maybe a little pain, sadness, and you don't know why. But that right there is your internal guidance system telling you that you're following a core belief, you're believing a thought, you're thinking a thought that just isn't true. Because what you are just beautiful, glowing, infinite potential with the creative power that is just beaming to get out. And our thinking, our inner critic, the little gerbil inside, the commentator, just sort of keeps that down. It's like a beach ball. We are a naturally buoyant, beautiful beach ball. But with our thinking, we push that down. And sometimes it's so innocent and so subconscious and it's so deep down, we don't realize we're doing it. But try pushing a beach ball down under the water. It's uncomfortable. There's discomfort in that. But then when you just sort of allow your thoughts to just fall away, the beach ball just naturally floats to the surface. You are naturally buoyant. We're naturally buoyant, creative beings. And that's what we're trying to say, is if we're following that inner critic, we're going to know by the way we feel. And if we are staying true and staying aligned to who we truly are, we're going to feel a lot better.
If the inner critic is talking and you don't feel so good, your feeling is giving you information. Now, if you feel bad, the information is telling you something that isn't true. If you're feeling good, It's an indicator that you're going in the direction of love. You're going in the direction of what is true. It's very, very simple. Our feelings aren't telling us. We're not reacting to the world. Our thinking isn't telling us what is true. All our thinking is doing is giving us a construction of this world. And the feeling we have is an indicator as to what is true and what isn't true. The times I've been sad and angry or upset, it comes with a really horrible, heavy feeling. And the times I've been felt free, like the beach ball's been let go of and it pops back up, floats on the surface, and you feel free. And that's what's true.
Right.
And the resistance of holding it under the water, the struggle. I don't know if you've ever tried doing this like in real life. It's hard to hold it under the water. And it's hard to hold our innate evolution, our innate intelligence, our spiritual nature down for too long, because there's pain, there's suffering when we're submerging our spiritual nature,
beautiful, Rudi.
Our innate intelligence, if you will. And so that feeling is trying to say, let go of resistance. Stop trying to change the world for you to feel okay. Stop wanting what's happening not to be happening. And accept people and yourself just as you are and they are. And in the absence of the resistance to what's happening, and there's a surrender and there's a letting go, the beach ball, and it pops back up to the surface.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying you should stay in a relationship which isn't right for you or be in a job that doesn't resonate with you. I'm just saying that our resistance to what's happening is the problem rather than what's actually happening. Tell them the bull story. Here comes a bull story.
Well, I was walking aimlessly on the fields of the Big Island, and if you've ever been to the Big Island, it's the last frontier. There's thousands and thousands of acres that are just untouched, and I lost a horse.
As you do when you're in Hawaii.
Yes. So I went out seeking for this horse, and I'm walking down this hill, and I hear this thud, 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 and I turn around, and there's this 1 ton, I'd say, 4,000-pound bull rearing at me, just coming at me, and I immediately think, oh my gosh, this is how I'm going to die. And then I thought, okay, it's going to hurt a little bit, but this is how I'm going to die. And then there was just a release of any resistance to what was. I just felt an overwhelming feeling of calmness, of peace. And you know what? That bull veered off in front of me, kicked his legs up, turned and faced me and looked at me. And we just had a moment, a connection, just for one moment. And he wasn't there to hurt me. I mean, we just happened to cross paths.
Yeah. And in case Jules doesn't mention it, she basically walked up the hill with the bull.
I got it on film because I kept my cell phone in my bra. So I pulled it out and thought, oh my gosh, he just ran right by me. Yes, this is a wacky Friday Night Live, by the way. And so I got it on film. And so I think I'm going to have Rudi edit that.
Okay, we'll try and stick it in at the end of this.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that. Now, the reason I asked Jules to tell her bull story is because even though it really looks like the world is causal to how you feel, the only causal thing to how you feel is your internal perception in that moment. So the bull was charging terror, fear, change of an internal perception, then peace and calm.
Yeah.
It's the lack of resistance to what is. So coming back to inner critic, we don't have to get rid of it. We don't have to shut it up. We just need to understand that it's just mind chatter.
Right. We don't have to buy into it
Yeah.
or believe any of the thoughts or hop on the train that it's so quickly traveling on. We just almost recognize the feeling and allow it to just pass on by. And before you know it, that buoyant, beautiful beach ball is just floating, just as it should be.
Because what happens is you got negative thinking, and it just kind of keeps flowing through. I'm doing Qigong now. And it just flows through. But what happens as it flows through, when you grasp onto it, it gets heavier and it pushes the beach ball down. Another one comes and it pushes the beach ball down. And so you don't need to get rid of the inner critic, realizing it's just mind chatter. It's not telling you about you.
Mm-hmm.
Who you are is a spark of the divine. Your love manifest in physical form, having a human experience, and part of the human experience is the mind chatter.
Yes.
Knowing that it's just mind chatter, it doesn't define you. You're beyond what you think. You're this spiritual power allowing thought to arise in the moment.
I love that you said it's not telling you about you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not telling you about you. And again, I'm going to reiterate, it's the feeling. If it feels uncomfortable or feels just not true or not right, or if there's any resistance, then it isn't true and not right. And we are resisting. So we just let go, allow, and buoyancy happens.
Sometimes I think of my future and looks terrible. I think of myself and I don't like myself. And I think of my potential capacity and I don't seem to have any. And other times I think of myself and the opposite is true. I think everything's fantastic. Now when I'm getting those mind chatter, buying into the mind chatter, because I know it's mind chatter, I don't really, although it doesn't feel very nice, I'm not really attaching to it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the act of unattaching to it, it's not something you do, it's just a realization of what it is. It flows through and the beach ball pops up back to the surface, back into the sunshine again. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now let's go edit that bull story.
Okay, coming up is the clip of the ball. And I think Jules got it just after it tried to charge her.
Right.
So this is the after effects.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
But
thanks
I'm
for listening.
still here.
You are still here, thankfully.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Lots of love.
Okay, he just ran right by me. Whoops. Hi. Hi, Bo. Come on. Come on, Bo. I have to make my way up the hill. I came into this field looking for a horse. And then Bo comes running down the hill, all 4,000 pounds of him. Scary, but he's just playful.